Alright, so the next part of the 2.1 quick review that you should know how to do is factoring trinomials. Remember, trinomial has the word nomial in it, which means number of terms. So this is 3 terms. So as we can see, each of these has 3 terms. Now, the first thing we do before we even get into the real factoring is see if there's any numbers we can factor out. So if we look at this, is there anything I can factor out of all of this? Any numbers that these all have in common? Which is, yeah, I have a 2, so I can factor out a 2. When I do that, this will become x squared, this will become 2x, this will become plus 1. So I factor out the 2. And then I just have all of this, which is your normal factoring a quadratic. So what you can think of is I know I'm going to end up with x times something, x, like this. I'm going to think of what are my factors of 1 that add up to negative 2. So what multiplies up to positive 1 but adds up to negative 2? Well, in my mind, I think negative 1 times negative 1 works, and they both add up to negative 2. So I get 2 times x minus 1 times x minus 1, which I can then write as 2 times x minus 1 squared, since I'm timing that by itself. So that's the first one. Okay, again, on 10. Look, is there anything I can factor out of all of this? Well, each one of these numbers has a 3 in common. So I'm going to factor out a 3. When I do that, I get 3 times. This becomes x squared. Factor out a 3 from this, it becomes 4x. Factor out a 3 from 12, and it becomes 4. Then I do the same thing. I know I'm going to end up with x times something like this. So then I think, what are my numbers that multiply up to 4 and add up to 4? Well, my factors of 4 are 2 and 2 and 1 and 4. So the only one that's going to work is positive 2 and positive 2. So then this is my factored form. But since I have x plus 2 and times x plus 2, well, I can rewrite that as 3 times x plus 2 squared, because it shows up twice when I'm multiplying. And that's all you do. That's all you do to factor trinomials. Always look for something to factor out, and then just factor out the quadratic part of it. Good luck.